From her early teens, Mila Kunis has built a long and storied career as a comedic and dramatic actor. Having worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, her evolution as a creative, mother, and philanthropist has been momentous. Mila Kunis was convinced that she wouldn't be able to jump from TV to film after playing Jackie Burkhart on That 70s Show, believing that she would be typecast moving forward. Resolving to leave the industry after her contract was up, she briefly attended college while making the hit series.
I was very keen on getting a college degree, not for any reason other than I thought I should or had to because my whole family's college educated.
Kunis attended UCLA before transferring to Loyola Marymount, although she doesn't recall attending any classes after transferring. The actress didn't know what she wanted to study and only took classes that interested her. She ultimately wanted to continue acting, so she discussed it with her parents and they suggested she drop out. While she decided to pursue acting at the time, she also told Women's Health that her priority above all else was living a happy life, and as she's gotten older, she's found fulfillment in lots of things outside of acting. Soon after That 70s Show wrapped, Mila Kunis had a shot at a role in the Judd Apatow movie Knocked Up. While she didn't get the part, she must have had a memorable audition because she was invited back and landed a role in Apatow's 2008 film Forgetting Sarah Marshall. She was cast as Rachel Jansen, Jason Segel's on-screen love interest after his character's breakup with the titular Sarah Marshall. It was her breakout film role and put her on set with a cast of comedy all-stars including Segel, Russell Brand, Paul Rudd, and Jonah Hill. The role was fun and racy, and Kunis embraced it all. Though unlike some of her co-stars, she didn't have to do any nude scenes. For Kunis, the biggest challenge while filming was trying not to laugh at her castmates when they joked around. As she explained to MovieWeb, "I like to laugh, and apparently I find everything funny. I'm just gonna go with my character laughs at it." For her next major film, Kunis played a ballerina in 2010's Black Swan. Starring alongside Natalie Portman, Winona Ryder, and Vincent Cassel, Kunis had never danced ballet before and was surprised to land the role. To ensure a worthy performance, she went the extra mile to prepare. She underwent intense training as a ballerina and lost 20 pounds to gain a super skinny physique. As she explained to Collider, she practiced hours a day, every day for several months, saying, "You can only fake so much physicality, so you have to immerse yourself in this world, in the way that somebody walks, talks, and handles themselves." While making the movie, Kunis tore a ligament, dislocated her shoulder, and injured her back, but her efforts made the difference. Kunis was nominated for Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Awards for Best Supporting Actress. Though she didn't wind up taking them home, she didn't mind that. As she told Entertainment Tonight, she still got immense satisfaction from the work itself, regardless of critical reception. Mila Kunis and Home Alone star Macauley Culkin dated between 2002 and 2011. Although Kunis never dished on intimate details, she credited the relationship with helping her not fall prey to the pitfalls of young Hollywood. She explained to Women's Health, "I don't know if I met him at 27 if it would have been a different relationship. We grew up together. You find a steady rock in your life and that's all you need. We have our ups and downs, but work through them." After the couple split up, Kunis admitted on Howard Stern's show that Culkin's fans made it difficult to walk down the street together. Culkin was such an enormous star that the public seemed to lose all composure in his presence.
It wasn't like a normal response to a celebrity. The fans responded in a very abnormal way to him.
This strange behavior may have been the motivation for why the couple chose to stay home, play video games, and eat dinner privately for much of the duration of their relationship. Although their split was characterized as amicable, Kunis later admitted she was to blame for their breakup. On the Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, Kunis blatantly stated she is not happy with who she was throughout her relationship with Culkin. Although neither Kunis nor Culkin ever elaborated on why they broke up, both have moved on with their lives. Kunis has been married to Ashton Kutcher since 2015, while People reports Culkin and Brenda Song have 2 children together and were engaged in 2022. Although she wasn't interested in the film at first, Kunis got roped into making the romantic comedy Friends with Benefits opposite Justin Timberlake. As Kunis told Vanity Fair, she wasn't particularly excited by the script when she first read it, but after she joined the cast, she got the opportunity to rework it alongside Timberlake and director Will Gluck. Kunis explained that, in the process, she and Timberlake would improvise scenes and Gluck would then rewrite parts of the script based on their performance. The actor told the publication that this was the first time she got to experience this element of the filmmaking process, saying, "It was the first time that I felt, in my career ever, to be part of a collaborative process of doing a rewrite." Still, Kunis admitted that Timberlake's fame posed a challenge while filming on location. She explained that while in a studio, it was perfectly normal and that the young Timberlake was enthusiastic and excellent to work with. However, as soon as they appeared on the street, fans would mob the pop star turned actor. His level of fame overwhelmed Kunis, but this experience may have prepared her for developments that would soon transpire in her personal life. Kunis and Ashton Kutcher both ended long-term relationships in 2011, and the former co-stars reconnected in January 2012 at the Golden Globes. On Mark Maron's WTF podcast, Kunis admitted she noticed him first and that it took her a moment to realize that the man she was checking out was actually her former co-star. Although they agreed to date casually, Kunis realized a few months down the road that she had developed feelings for Kutcher after learning he was seeing someone else. She resolved to end their flirtation if Kutcher didn't feel the same and went straight to Kutcher's house to confess her feelings. The next morning, Kutcher appeared at her front door and asked her to move in with him. Although Kunis feared he wasn't ready for such a big step after ending his marriage to Demi Moore, Kutcher made it clear he wasn't willing to risk losing Kunis. They moved in together in April 2012 and got engaged in February 2014. Not long after, Kunis told Ellen DeGeneres that they were expecting their first child. By the time Bad Moms came out in 2016, Kunis was expecting her second child. In the film, she plays a frazzled mom who's over-involved in the lives of her two school-age children. With a combination of help and pushback from her friends played by Kristen Bell, Katherine Hahn, Christina Applegate, and Jada Pinkett Smith, she learns to let loose.
Amy, PTA meeting at 2. Will we see you there?
No. Bye.
It was a lesson Kunis felt applied to her life off-screen too. Speaking about the film, she told Today, "The reason I did the first one is because I related to the ideals that I put on myself. I tried to be so perfect. I literally drove myself crazy with my first kid. It made me feel like, okay, you're not a failure." Kunis' follow-ups to Bad Moms, such as A Bad Mom's Christmas and The Spy Who Dumped Me, were also comedies. However, her work after those saw her transform again, as the next films she got involved with involved very serious performances. In an extremely sharp turn from her several-year stint in comedies, Kunis opted to take a role in the supremely dark 4 Good Days. In the film, Kunis plays Molly, a heroin addict who must stay sober for 4 additional days after completing a 3-day inpatient detox to qualify for an opioid blocker injection that might change the course of her cycle of addiction and save her life. The film gave Kunis an opportunity to showcase her range as an actress while co-starring with the incomparable Glenn Close, who played Molly's mother. At the 2020 Sundance Film Festival, Kunis acknowledged that she used to naively believe addiction was a choice and that she made the film because her perspective on addiction had shifted. She explained, "You learn and you grow and you see life evolve around you, you realize that's not the case. And I thought that this film was a beautiful depiction of that. I wanted to deep dive into it because I also wanted to understand what makes an addict an addict." Both Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher have been involved in philanthropic causes in the past, but after Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, the couple started the GoFundMe campaign Stand With Ukraine to raise funds for humanitarian efforts in the ailing nation. The campaign partnered with Flexport and Airbnb to distribute supplies and fund short-term housing for displaced refugees. Speaking with People, Kunis claimed that this was one of the only times she's felt the need to speak out about her humanitarian work, as she wanted to ensure the word got out to as many people as possible. She shared how after Russia invaded Ukraine, she received calls from people asking how they could help. The GoFundMe came about as the result of she and Kutcher figuring out the most efficient way to assist in such a critical time.
For us, it was what's already in motion that we can put money towards, that we know ourselves.
Kunis and Kutcher committed to matching $3 million to get the donations rolling, and thanks to their efforts, Kunis landed on People's 2022 People of the Year list and Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People of 2022. To date, the campaign has raised over $37 million. However, Kunis certainly didn't do it for the accolades, stating, "I've never been more proud to be from Ukraine. I'm so honored my kids can carry on that heritage." In 2022, Kunis starred in and produced the film adaptation of Jessica Knoll's novel Luckiest Girl Alive. Inspired by Knoll's true life story, Kunis plays Ani Finelli, a New York journalist who survived a school shooting as a teenager only to be ostracized by her community in the tragedy's wake. When Ani agrees to be interviewed for a new documentary about the shooting, she revisits the night she was sexually assaulted at a high school party. Revisiting these traumas destabilizes Ani's picture-perfect life and makes her a voice for sexual assault survivors. According to Entertainment Weekly, while much of the film is inspired by Knoll's real-life experiences, those same experiences informed hers and Kunis' decision to write a completely new ending for the film. According to Knoll, Kunis embraced being a creative producer and was instrumental to crafting that new ending. As Kunis told Entertainment Weekly, "I know the ending is polarizing, which is what I think makes this movie so interesting. A lot of people didn't like it, but I fought so hard for it to stay in. I'm really glad that we won this fight because it's so powerful." In 2007, Kunis told Parade that the thought of reprising her role as Jackie from That 70s Show wasn't on her radar. She cited the still recent conclusion to the series as the reason behind this stance, though she also stated that a ways down the line she might be open to a reboot. It seems her instincts were spot on, for in 2023, Kunis and Ashton Kutcher reprised their roles of Jackie and Michael and returned to Point Place, Wisconsin for a brief cameo in the sequel series That 90s Show. Kunis felt that it was important to support the spin-off of the series that launched their careers, and Kutcher even told Esquire that she was the driving force behind their decision to appear in the show. Kunis was also outspoken about where her character's life went, telling Access Hollywood that it felt out of place for Jackie to end up with Kelso.
You know what? I called BS. I was like, my character would be with Fez. I think that I ended up with Wilmar's character.
While making that '70s show, Mila Kunis auditioned to voice Meg Griffin on Family Guy after the original voice actor, Lacey Chabert, dropped out of the series. Over 20 years later, Kunis has done voice work in over 400 episodes of Family Guy, and her long-standing relationship with the animated series has led to other voice roles. Kunis has lent her vocal cords to characters on Wonder Park, Hell and Back, and Robot Chicken. She is also close friends with Robot Chicken's co-creator Seth Green, and expressed to Collider how proud she is of the show's success and recalled that she's seen it evolve from some of its earliest and most rudimentary iterations. She is also an executive producer and voice actor on Stoner Cats, an adult animated series with an all-star cast about sentient house cats living with a woman who combats Alzheimer's symptoms with medicinal cannabis. The web series recently made the news when the SEC filed charges against its creators for illegal sales of $8 million in unregistered NFTs. The production company agreed to stop selling the NFTs and pay a $1 million civil fine, although it neither admitted nor denied any wrongdoing in the matter. In the summer of 2023, Kunis and Ashton Kutcher wrote character letters in support of their That '70s Show co-star Danny Masterson to a judge presiding over Masterson's sentencing hearing for his 2 rape convictions. In response, some have criticized the way Kutcher and Kunis characterized Masterson as a role model and brother figure as tone-deaf and hurtful to his victims. After these letters elicited a major backlash, Kunis and Kutcher released an apology on Kutcher's Instagram account, explaining how Masterson's family asked them to write the letters. In an attempt to clarify the intention of their efforts, Legal Action Center Deputy Director Colleen McCormick-Maitland told Vox that character letters are not a rebuttal against a conviction, saying, "The point of these letters is to help the sentencing judge understand who the person is, beyond what they might have read in an indictment or heard in testimony at trial." Because of public ire about the perceived insincerity of the couple's apology, Kutcher resigned as the board chair of Thorn, an anti-child sex abuse organization he co-founded in 2009. In turn, Kunis also resigned from her position as an observer on the board. If you or anyone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, help is available. Visit the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network website or contact RAIN's National Helpline at 1-800-656-HOPE, 1-800-656-4673.